safe.
I'm funny how? I mean, funny like I'm a clown, I amuse you?
You're tired.
Well, the lunchtime whistle and the morning's finally done. I'm jumping in my car, I'm gonna have a little fun. The Doghouse Network's on my radio dial. Big Dog's taking care of business for a while. If you're listening to another station I don't understand, 'cause nobody does it like Thom Abraham.
Give us a call, Steve.
He's a northern-bred, southern-fed, slick-talking guy. Listeners in his posse are the junkyard dogs. The SEC from Tennessee to calling them hogs. From Gainesville up to Lexington to the Titan Tiger Land, nobody does it like Thom Abraham.
I guess I'm on here. Am I on? Can somebody respond?
Hey, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Football Friday in the Doghouse. Yes, that means we will have football music for you throughout the show. And I got to tell you, though, this Football Friday here is a little bit different because we are coming to you on location at Bubby's Diner on Whitesburg Lane. It is the perfect place, really, for a lunchtime show on a Friday. I mean, honestly, I wish I could do every Friday here. I was just going to do every Friday show right here. That would work out perfectly for me. I mean, the place has been buzzing today. I've already knocked down Kimmy's Bacon Jam Cheeseburger, which, of course, is my favorite. All you got to do is look at the menu, and it says right on there, Big Dog's favorite. All right? It tells you right there that this is Thom Abraham's favorite, the Kimmy's Bacon Jam Cheeseburger. And I talked Moulton into having one. He was here for lunch as well. I talked him into having one. And he loved it. I mean, it was absolutely incredible. And then Chris, Bubby Belcher, Chris decided that he needed to bring over to the table some ribs, some barbecue baby back ribs over to the table. And I gotta tell you, they were amazing too. I mean, he brought about 8 ribs over and he split it in the middle, thinking that Moulton was going to have 4 and I was going to have 4, and I just was slapping Moulton's hand away. Get out of there! Don't be touching those ribs. I'm going to eat those ribs. And that's exactly what I did. I had those ribs. This place has such a cool vibe. I just love it here. The atmosphere is tremendous. The food is even better all day long. Grizz was here for breakfast this morning, and I'm just saying it was just tremendous. And when I leave here, I'm looking over there right now. I see the ice cream cooler. When I leave here, I'm going to be hitting for the road. I'm going to be knocking down a hand-dipped ice cream cone. I think that's, or maybe a shake. Oh, they got the old-fashioned style milkshake maker as well. So maybe I'll grab a milkshake. Now, look, Bubby's was featured this morning on Zone Deals. And it was gone in about a half an hour. It was just gone. All right, but you know what? Maybe we'll give away a little Bubby's on the show today. I'll figure out a way to do it, and we'll give some Bubby's away today on the show. So swing on by. We're here till 2 o'clock. Have a little lunch with us here at Bubby's Diner. Now, of course, the story of the week has been Brandon Miller's involvement in the Darius Miles, Michael Davis capital murder case. And to view it from a national standpoint, I mean, Miller was either oblivious to what was going on, and Miles wanted him to bring Miles' gun with him back to the Strip, to Miller providing his gun to be used in commission of a murder when Miller trapped the victim's car on the street. Of course, we know that that's not true. I mean, based on the video and the prosecution not charging Miller, we know that it's not true. It said that he didn't break any laws, but no matter, because he has been tried in a court of public opinion, and he's been found guilty. And that's it. Craig Stevenson of AL.com has his finger on the pulse of the story, and he'll join us in a few moments as well. The phone lines are open at 256-576-4977. You can also text the show at 732-9TA-SHOW at 732-982-7469. That's a great way to communicate with us. My personal Twitter feed is at Thom Abraham Show. The station's feed is at 97.7 ESPN. We're also on the Facebook at 97.7 ESPN, where you can watch the show right now, and you can get a little bit of a live glimpse of what it is like here at Bubby's. You can see the folks there behind me sitting in a booth. Do we have to blur their faces or anything? Do we have to have their permission for them to be on the TV? Should I ask them? Maybe you guys okay? You're on TV. Is it okay? Do I have to blur your faces? You're not like doing something you're not supposed to be doing or playing hooky from work or anything. Okay, because I just noticed in the background of the TV shot you're on there, so they're okay. I think there are. We don't have to blur their faces, Chris. They will remain in the background of the shot. That's the booth they usually do the show from. I don't know why they didn't set us up there today. We're at a table a little bit more in the middle here of the deal. But you can watch it on Twitch and YouTube at WZZN TV as well. And all of this is posted right there at our social media, all of our social media, and, of course, at, 977ESPN.com, where you can get links to all of this stuff. You can get the apps. You need to have our apps, all right? So you can get Zone 2 and Zone 3 and Zone 4 and all our alternate streaming channels for more great programming. Over there in that little glass room with the slanted ceiling, playing the platters that matter and the stacks of wax, answering the phones. He's living large on a Friday with a full belly of bubbies. It's DJ Grizzy Grizz.
Who in the blue hell are you?
I'm the producer of the show. If I didn't step up, you're nowhere. I put the thing together on a stick and polish.
Brilliant!
I've got $100 smoking in my billfold. I know I ought to save it, but it's burning a hole right through my pocket and into my skin. Come Monday morning, I'll be broke again. It's finally Friday, I'm free again. I got my motor running for a wild weekend. It's finally Friday, I'm out of control. Forget the working blues and let the good times roll.
Someone call someone because there's a cleanup on aisle 3 as a man is down.
It's like taking poison, like rat poison.
It's not St. Patty's Day, so that's a different day entirely.
Hey, Grizz, what did you have for breakfast? I hear you were down here. Tell me what you had for breakfast when you were down here at Bubby's this morning.
Well, first off, I had to start with basically it's one of the plates that they have for breakfast. You can get eggs, you can get meat, and then you can get basically hash brown casserole or potatoes or whatever. But I had basically, let's see, hash brown casseroles. I had eggs, I had ham, I had a sausage biscuit, I had biscuit and gravy. And then I had grits, and so I had to get it all.
So you're full for a while.
Yes, I'm full for a while. I don't need lunch or I don't need an early dinner or anything like that. I'll be fine.
You're probably in pretty good shape then.
I'm probably good the rest of the day.
You're probably good. Maybe.
Maybe. I might have to have lunch, though. Who knows?
Of course, I had my world-famous Kimmy's Bacon Jam Cheeseburger, and I made I made Moulton have one as well. I mean, I say I made him have one. It didn't take much, didn't take much convincing, for him to have one, but he did have one. But it looks like they got the hand-dipped ice cream going over there, and I know it was like 80 degrees yesterday, and it's not today. It's kind of a dreary 65 or 60 degrees out there today, but I think I can still get ham-dipped ice cream or a shake. Do you think I should get the shake, or do you think I should get an ice cream cone for my ride back to Tennessee?
Either or is honestly, you can't go wrong, but I go with the milkshake every time. The milkshake is amazing, and they've got little different options for ice cream and stuff like that right in front of you too. So I mean, it's like you can. Man, but I go milkshake though, for real. I mean, it's legit, and you can add whatever you want to it too. They've got chocolate and different kinds of syrups and cherries and all that stuff, so you can add stuff to it.
So Jack Doss was here this morning.
Yeah,
Christian basketball coach Jack Doss was here for lunch, and apparently, the last 3 times I've done shows here, Jack Doss has been here. I don't know. I think he has, like, how I have an item on the menu and they have my name next to the Kimmy's Bacon Jam Cheeseburger where it says Thom Abraham, the big dog's favorite, right on the menu with our house-made bacon jam and provolone cheese. I think Doss has a table. I think there's a table that's got his name on it.
It's got a plaque on it.
Jack Doss table, over there. And you know what he is? He's a huge third-generation Yankees fan. Now, let me tell you something. Yeah, for Jack Doss, for it to be third generation. I mean, Jack is. I mean, he's. I'm old. He's older than me. I mean, he knew stuff that was a little bit before my time. So he's a little bit older than me. So for him to be third generation, It's got to go back. That sounds like it goes back to like the 40s. You know what I mean? I'm second generation Yankee fan. It was not my grandfather. It was my father who was a Yankees fan that gave me the Yankees. And my dad was born in 1939. So my father was a teenager in the 50s when the Yankees were winning 7 of the 10 World Series in the 50s. It was at the same time that the Browns won 7 consecutive, not 7, that they went to 10 consecutive championship games and ultimately won 7 between 1946 and 1955. So that was out, it's his developmental years, a Browns fan, a Yankees fan, because the Browns and the Yankees were the ones that were dominant. Those are the ones that were totally dominant. But Doss is on top of it with the Yankees. He knows all the young kids that are coming up, and we were sharing battle stories. I told him about Bronson Arroyo coming on the show and me doing that game and everything else. So he's a fascinating guy. I mean, that's a guy I could just sit here and talk sports with.
Oh, a guy that's a local legend. I mean, he's been around it all. I mean, he's coached so many great athletes around here. So, I mean, he's probably have tons and tons of stories that he could probably just pull out of there. But to be able to go beyond the sport that, he really dominates is really cool. So, I mean, it just shows you how much of a sports nerd some of these coaches are, too, because outside of their own sport. So
no, yeah, it doesn't matter. Basketball guys, baseball guys, football guys, they know it all. They like to talk about it all. I didn't, however, ask him. I was going to ask him. I thought to myself, should I ask him to walk me through the last 4 seconds of that game against Huntsville? But I decided not to, Grizz. I thought maybe it was better to just let the sleeping dog lay there.
Yeah, it would have been okay if you just didn't, and I'm glad you didn't because, no, I'm okay. It's all right. I mean, I still...
Have you gotten over it yet? I don't know if he's gotten over it yet. Have you gotten over it yet? That's the key.
Not entirely, but that's why I don't coach, high school basketball, or that's why I really don't coach basketball at all, because I have a little different approach to it. Because if I was ahead, I would just keep going for the throat, and I would just keep pounding it. But I feel like
wait a minute, are you criticizing the way Doss
no.
coach the game?
No. I'm just saying that I watched in I think it was in Georgia. It was a high school basketball game where a team was up and they just held the ball for the entire first half.
Yeah.
And it's just ruining the game of basketball. So I just think that when coaches get up and they get kind of lackadaisical like that, and they kind of just don't go don't kind of keep going for it, I think that it kind of ruins the game of basketball. It kind of ruins the flow of basketball, especially in high school basketball.
Is that what you're saying? We need a shot clock in high school basketball?
I think so for sure.
All right. Have you been following any of the national stories? You're getting a national tone on this Brandon Miller thing, because when you look at the headlines from a national standpoint, they're just glomming on the fact that Miller brought him the gun that was used in the murder, and in one Outkick, which is a pretty respectable, outfit. Outkick, is. My friend Clay Travis started that back a few years ago and has now sold it to Fox. So this is Outkick. Outkick.com is a product of Fox Sports. They actually, in their article, said that he provided the gun. Like it was his gun.
Yeah.
And I'm like, see, this is what's wrong with this story. It's gotten so sideways now that you can't swing a dead cat without somebody talking bad about, this is the way they think down in Tuscaloosa. Oh, this is the way they are in Alabama. It's okay down in Alabama. You can do this kind of, and it's just, it's perception is reality.
Well, it's the most frustrating thing in the world when you see these kind of people attacking a player or attacking someone when they don't know the whole entire facts, or they read something that they thought off of another article. Or, like I saw him literally retweeting, this is Clay Travis, by the way, retweeting something that's saying, oh, look, people over in London are talking about this same situation. And then you look at all the comments, and it's like, this is America. This is blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, this is not America. This is not this situation. Whatsoever. It's not a gun story. It's not anything. I don't understand it. And then I will never understand why anybody can continue to profit off of the types of clicks and everything, because it's clickbait, because we're going to go over here and argue it, and there's going to be good and bad on people trying to debate on what he's trying to say.
So do they have a separate menu for the shakes? I'm looking at the menu now, and the Bubbies doesn't say anything about milkshakes on the menu itself.
I think you kind of have to go up there and look, because you have the ice cream options, and there's different kinds of ice cream options up there, but I don't know what all can be in a shake, so you have to ask.
She's making a shake right now. A young lady waitress is making a shake right now, but I don't know what the options are on that. So see, I'm already thinking about the end of the show.
See, I've already had a strawberry, I've already had a chocolate, and I've already had a vanilla. So those are at least 3 regular options of milkshake. But
yeah, I'm going to have a vanilla.
There is different types of ice cream over there.
Yeah, no, there's no doubt about it. I'm sitting here already, though. My mind is going towards 2 o'clock. All right, I mean, 17 minutes into the show, I just slammed down a bacon jam cheeseburger, fries, and 8 ribs, baby back ribs. And you think I would be full. I am. I'm satiated, right? But yet I'm watching her make a shake over there, and I'm thinking to myself, I can't wait till 2 o'clock so I can get a milkshake. I mean, that's just sick, is what that is. All right, let's get a break in here. When we come back, Craig Stevenson will join us from AL.com, and we'll get his thoughts on what's going on with this Brandon Miller story next, right here on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
You're listening to the Thom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
The kitchen is the heart of any home. It's where the family gathers. It's where kids discover old recipes and make them their own. Just starting out or just now getting started on the dream kitchen you've always wanted?
I'm Chris Haygood, and from all of us here at Bob Wallace Appliance to the home builders and the homeowners of the Huntsville area, a heartfelt thank you for buying local. We're in Huntsville, Florence, and Coleman, and online at bobwallaceappliance.com.
Who knows comfort? Well, comfort is our middle name. If your home isn't as comfortable as you want it to be, we can fix that. We service all makes and brands of heating and cooling systems, even if we didn't install them. So give us a call at Environmental Comfort Systems or visit our website at envcomfort.com. We are your independently owned American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer. Alabama license number 92314. Environmental Comfort Systems. That's envcomfort.com.
Over 60 years ago, our founding father taught us the value of being dedicated to long-term customer satisfaction in every transaction we do, sales, parts, and service. Bobby White here for Woody Anderson Ford, thanking you for your loyalty for over 60 years, and we promise to keep working hard to earn your business every day. Just so happens that for 46 of those 60 years, our F-150 has been the best-selling truck in America. And now is a great time to drive one. We've got over 100 F-150s to choose from, and financing as low as 2.9% for up to 5 years on 2022 F-150s. With your good credit through Ford Motor Credit, offer ends February 28th. Or if a nearly new Ford fits you better, trade in and trade up to a Ford Gold Certified or Blue Certified pre-owned car, truck, SUV, or crossover. Great warranties, 24-hour roadside assistance, and you'll take them home with a full tank of gas and a fresh oil change. Woody Anderson Ford celebrating over 60 years of service to Huntsville, and we look forward to serving you.
Feed your rhythm at Rhythm on Monroe in downtown Huntsville. Located inside the Von Braun Center at the corner of Clinton Avenue and Monroe Street, Rhythm has everything you're looking for to have that perfect evening. Dinner, drinks, and live entertainment. Check out our Facebook page to see this week's local musician lineup. Find your rhythm and feed your rhythm at Rhythm on Monroe. Visit the menu and make reservations at rhythmonmonroe.com. Parking at the Von Braun Center is discounted when you provide your receipt at Rhythm on Monroe.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Emily Owen. For this Friday, expect scattered showers throughout the day. Otherwise, we'll see a cloudy sky. High temperatures are expected to top out in the mid and upper 50s for the afternoon. We could also see gusty winds as high as 25 miles per hour. For your Friday night, we'll keep scattered showers in the forecast, a mostly cloudy sky. Low temperatures falling back down into the low 50s for the overnight. I'm meteorologist Emily Owen on your home for ESPN Radio 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
The best in local sports talk from the 256. We are local.
When you're number one, you don't have to worry.
We are award-winning. Thank you for listening. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
You'll be set for life.
This is the only place for Drew DeArmond, Wes Neighbors, and of course, Thom Abraham.
I never met him, but I hear that he's a man of character.
97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
And welcome back. Thom Abraham Show on location at Bubby's Diner. This place didn't exist. You'd have to invent it. They got the old style Victrola music, deals, jukeboxes. They've got the black and white tile floor, and old style tables as well, and chairs. I mean, you feel like you've been taken back to the 50s or 60s when you're in this place. It's got a nice music theme going on all around it. It's really cool. So come on down and say hello here. And you never know. You never know if you come down, I'm able to buy you lunch. You don't know, all right? If you come down here, you're liable to get bought lunch if you just come over to the table and you say, hey, big dog, how you doing? I'm liable to buy you lunch, all right? So test me on that down here at Bubby's on Whitesburg. All right, joining us now, guy does a tremendous job for AL.com. He is, of course, Craig Stevenson, and he is on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. Craig, welcome back to the show. How are you, man?
Hey, doing well. So do those big trollers there play the NFL Films theme? That's pretty cool.
Yeah, well, Football Friday around here. Football Friday, we play all college fight songs and NFL Films music, so we're just bumping the show like crazy with that stuff. It doesn't. Look, we don't want anybody to get too far from football. You know that in this state, right?
No question.
It's Football Friday 52 weeks out of the year. There's 52 Football Fridays, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, no doubt about it. All right, let's talk a little bit about the Brandon Miller story. It's so disheartening, isn't it, to read all of the national, if you look at it from 30,000 feet, and you look at the way the national stories have been on this, and, this is an Alabama thing, this is a Tuscaloosa thing, this is a university thing, this is just the way they are down there. It was Brandon Miller's gun. I mean, you would think that, that he was complicit in every aspect of this shooting. But it is one of those things where here in the state we are once again taking a shot, and it's a massive black eye.
Yeah, for sure. It really is. And it's a shame that it happens in, one of the maybe the best Alabama basketball season ever. I mean, this is arguably the best team they've ever had. Brandon Miller's one of the best players they've ever had. It's unfortunate all this stuff gets overshadowed. I mean, we can't lose sight of the fact that obviously there was a young mother who lost her life, but the fact that it is reflecting poorly on Alabama basketball is a shame, as you said.
Yeah, and then you've got, Nate Oates' original comments after practice on Wednesday, or I think Tuesday it was. He did not have, as it turned out, he did not have the benefit of the knowledge of everything that came out in the, in the hearing. And it did come off as rather flippant, which, again, here's a guy that's having a Coach of the Year type of season and just absolutely ripped to shreds by the fans and media alike, including Greg McElroy, because of the nature of the way he handled the story.
Yeah, so he says. I think that I wonder how much Nate Oates knew going in. I mean, surely they knew the hearing was going on that day, and Brandon Miller's name might have come up. Obviously, they knew Brandon Miller and Jaden Bradley, who, by the way, for some reason, nobody has been able to determine what his involvement was in all of this, and if he was involved at all, or just happened to be there. But we don't know any of the details of why and how he wound up at the scene as well. But anyway, with Miller, I wonder if it wouldn't have been a good idea for the university to disclose the fact that Brandon Miller was a witness at the time, when they knew that it happened, when they were comfortable discussing it. I think what I suspect happened is they figured, well, it's not going to get out. It's not going to come from court because he's just a witness, apparently. And by the time it does come out in court, maybe he'll be gone to the NBA. We won't have to worry about it. So I think that was mishandled by Nate Oates and the power structure at Alabama. But in terms of, what Nate Oates knew and when, I can't really say for sure what's true. I do know that Nate Oates has a history of kind of shooting from the hip, no pun intended, bad pun, I didn't mean it like that. But, he just kind of pops off without thinking sometimes. He's done that in the past. He ran afoul of Coach K a couple of years ago. Yeah. And it just seems like sometimes he speaks without thinking about it first, and this might have just been another example of that.
You do wonder how much, because he made it sound like he did not know all of the details until the hearing came out, which means that then Brandon Miller was not totally forthcoming, that Brandon Miller was, yeah, Coach, I was there. I saw it go down. I drove away. Did he know that this car was actually hit by bullets? And, of course, did he know the key detail that, Darius Miles' gun was in the back seat of the car and that he had gotten that text message and so on? And if we are to assume that Nate Oates is telling us, well, I didn't know all of that. If we are to assume that, then that means Brandon Miller is withholding information from his coach and from the university until it came out in the court case. And that, it would seem like, is an issue, right? I mean, again, we're not talking about a legal issue. We're talking about a team issue. At that point in time, you wonder if you get a rip for the fact that you're withholding some sort of information.
Yeah, and you know how it is in any organization, whether you're a part of a team or whether you're working for a company, radio station, or wherever you're working. If you get into some sort of trouble or are caught up in something like this, you always want to tell either the boss or the coach or your parents or whoever everything, so they can protect you if they need to. And maybe that didn't happen. I don't really blame Brandon Miller. It doesn't seem like his actions up to the shooting are really in question. The fact that it seems like he got a second text message from Miles while he was already on the way to pick him up, saying to bring his gun, and by that time he was either already there or already on the way there. And, I was a 20-year-old kid one time too, and if my buddy had said, hey, I'm in a jam, come help me, you'd probably do it. Even if you are worried about what the consequences may be.
Yeah.
So I kind of hope Brandon Miller, at least based on what we know, unless he and his attorneys are flat out lying to shed the best light on this, unless that's happening, I don't really put Brandon Miller much at issue here. But I do think it was bungled on some level by Nate Oates, Greg Byrne, and the university. And to be honest with you, in a situation like this, I don't know that it's Nate Oates necessarily calling the shots. I think this goes all the way to the top. President's office, university attorneys, and all that. They're trying to craft the message, but at some point, something got lost in that whole setup, and it makes the university look bad for sure.
Yeah, it does. There's no doubt about it. Kirk Stevenson with us from AL.com, and yeah, there were a couple of things. I kind of believed mostly everything I saw in the statement from Miller's attorney. We read that on air a couple of days ago, and it seemed to be very reasonable. And the part where he says it's corroborated by video surveillance, I think, is very, very key. One of our listeners brought up a pretty fair question, though, that I had a hard time answering. And again, we have the benefit of being, grown men that have been on this earth for a lot longer than Brandon Miller, and maybe we react a little bit different. But I'm trying to figure out if Darius Miles had already texted him and said, hey, can you give me a ride? Come and pick me up. And Miller says, yeah, I'll be there in an hour. Why does Miles have to text him again and say, bring me my gun? He's already coming.
Yeah.
That was kind of weird.
Yeah, it's a good point. Well, I guess you're probably right. But, it's like, hey, you said you'd be here. Where are you? Sort of deal. I mean, we've all had good friends and stuff like that, especially – I don't know, these guys may have been out drinking or whatever. I don't really know if there was necessarily alcohol involved, but, people kind of lose their patience in a situation like that, I guess.
Well, from Davis's standpoint, there was definitely alcohol involved, because Davis said he was drunk, at the time when
There's some things that don't quite add up, and I'm like you, I do kind of, what Miller's attorney said sounds reasonable.
Yeah.
But there's also probably a little bit of withholding of the truth to make his client look as good as possible. When did he realize his car had been struck by gunfire? All that sort of thing. I'm not really sure.
Well, yeah, and the one thing that would be damning, which is totally different than the police testimony, and again, I hate to say this because I'm a big fan of the police, but we have seen, in our country that there has been some stories that have been testimony and whatnot that has maybe been sometimes a little different than what the actual story was. And according to Miller's attorneys, this is backed up by video surveillance. But the issue of whether or not Miller used his car to basically block the victim in, now he's complicit. If that's true, to me, that's where this whole thing, hinges. And it must not be, because if that was the case, he would have been charged as some sort of an accessory. But the fact that they didn't charge him, yeah, right. I mean, the fact that they didn't charge him, and the fact that there's supposedly video evidence that his car was already parked when the Jeep pulled up behind him, But yet, when you look at the national stories, he was, he's everything but the trigger man. Like he blocked the guy in, and he was part of the deal. And that's the part of it that I don't know will ever go away, and it will just hang over this team, like you say, this great team. A month from now, if they're in the fourth round of the NCAA tournament, this is going to get rehashed over and over and over again.
It's going to come up at every single press conference outside of Tuscaloosa the rest of the year, whenever they go to the SEC tournament, whenever they go to the wherever regional they're in, and on as far as they go. You're right. And, yeah, initially that's what it sounded like, but I don't know that it was ever explicitly stated by the police that they deliberately blocked them in, right? I don't know. But, you can block somebody in accidentally.
Right.
And maybe that was the case. I don't know. I wasn't there. It's hard to say. And all this stuff will come out in court. But it sounds to me that if everything that from the Alabama side has been told is truthful, sounds to me like the fact that they did not charge Brandon Miller is probably the right idea. Now, again, I think Alabama probably, when Nate Oates was asked if any other players were at the scene, he probably should have said yes.
Yeah.
But the problem with that is, if you say yes, then you get 1,000 follow-up questions. And you know how coaches are, you know how universities are. They don't like follow-up questions. They want to be able to lay it all out there and have everybody accept what their answer is.
Yeah, and we wonder when and if we'll ever hear from Brandon Miller, and the fact that he is a witness to a legal proceeding. He may not be able to say much, if anything. But again, he has not been charged with anything, so there is that. How many coaches do you think are going to use this cautionary tale once again? Because this is, I'm an old football coach, and this is that thing. We always are talking to these kids, but you can't. Youth is wasted on the young. Is what I like to say about it. But
Right.
Here is a kid that is months away from being a multi-millionaire. And you just say, you know what?
Right.
If you're at home playing a video game at 11 o'clock at night, this doesn't. None of this is happening. Just be smart about every single situation that you're in, and that's the part for him, for his sake, that is unfortunate. That why are you even screwing around with stuff like this when you're sitting on a gold mine here of a career?
That's true, but it sounded like he did go home, and then he got called back by his friend. So.
I think he was at a restaurant, yeah.
Yeah, I can't. It's hard to say, but I understand what you're getting at,
Yeah.
and that's what coaches always say is, look, nothing good ever happens after midnight, and this was well after midnight when all this went down.
Yeah, Craig Stevenson with us here. All right, Craig, before I let you go, let me ask you something that's unrelated to this story, because it's a story we have to cover, but it's one of those stories we hate to cover. With the SEC, with this being settled now that Oklahoma and Texas are coming in 2024, everybody's speculating on what the schedule might look like and the three permanents.
Yeah.
We assume we'll know that before SEC Media Days. I think that'll probably come out in May at the meetings. But Connor O'Gara from Saturday Down South and Matt Hayes from Saturday Down South both had opinions on who the three permanent opponents would be. And Connor, who came on the show, he didn't feel that Alabama, Tennessee, and Auburn, Georgia rose to the level of have-to-be-played games every year. I'm of the opinion that if a game has a name, like Third Saturday in October or Deep South's oldest rivalry, you got to play that game every year. Hayes says you play those games. What's your take on it? Is Alabama, Tennessee, and Auburn, Georgia, are those sacred if you end up with three permanent opponents?
No, I think absolutely they are. Both of those games will be played. I would be stunned if they're both not played, just like Texas, Oklahoma, just like Mississippi State, Ole Miss, just like Georgia, Florida. All those games are going to be played. It does allow, at least based on what we know now, it makes it seem tougher on certain schools, because Auburn obviously has to play Alabama and Georgia every year. And, maybe they catch a break with the third one. Maybe they give them Vanderbilt as the third one or something like that. The interesting part with me is who is the third team for Alabama, because I'm like you. I think Auburn and Tennessee are for sure going to happen. But who's your third one? Is it LSU, which has become a great rivalry in the last decade or so? Or is it Mississippi State, which is 80 miles away and who you've played more than anybody else in the SEC? I mean, they have played – Mississippi State and Alabama have played every year for well over 100 years. So
wow.
I would be really surprised to see – I guess with the exception of the World War II years where maybe it shut down for a couple of years. But I would be really surprised if that game doesn't take place because, again, there are no two schools in the SEC that are closer together than those two. In terms of mileage, it's far closer from Starkville, Tuscaloosa than it is from Auburn, Tuscaloosa. So, it would be a shame to see that game go away. So I think that, in the end, Alabama's 3 are going to be Auburn, Tennessee, and Mississippi State. That's what I think is going to happen.
That's a great point. I was assuming LSU, but that's a great point on the state game. And yeah, I agree with you. He just Connor didn't feel like he felt like Alabama, Tennessee was like Florida, Tennessee. You know what I mean? That it was, it's a thing, but it's not that thing. But I agree with you. I think that's got to be played. And if you look at the history of those things, I mean, that rivalry was pretty close up until the past 15-year domination. But that's always been streaky. And the same thing with Auburn, Georgia. Up until, Georgia just took the lead in that in the last 6 or 8 years in that series. So, the worm can turn. I mean, we're talking about something for long term. We're not talking about something for right now. I mean, maybe it sucks for Auburn fan right now, but in reality, you want to be considered among the elites in the SEC, so you play Alabama and Georgia every year. It's just the way it goes.
I'm totally with you on that. Absolutely.
Craig Stevenson is better, guys. Craig, I appreciate you so much. Keep up the great work, man. I read you all your articles at AL.com. Thanks, man.
Thanks, Tom. Have a great one.
All right, thank you. We are down here at Bubby's Diner. Come on down, say hello if you'd like. That'd be good. You never know. You'll be able to get a little lunch out of the deal. I'm Tom Abraham. Phone lines go open now. In fact, phone lines are open the rest of the show. Craig was our only guest scheduled. I'm hoping that my buddy Tom Perkins is going to swing by in hour number 2 here of the show. But as far as our regular guests, that's it. So we are open the rest of the way, and we got a number of topics that we can get into as well. It's the Tom Abraham Show, 256-576-4977. You don't have to call Bubby's. You just call us. You just call the station, and we'll get you on the air right here at 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
You're listening to the Tom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
This is Brent Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Check out VSiN's catalog of original podcasts, daily and weekly programming to keep you in the know when you're on the go. Only at VSIN.com. Now, here are the latest lines from my guys in the desert.
Futures odds for the 2023 NCAA Men's Basketball National Championship. The Houston Cougars the favorite at plus 700. They're followed by Alabama and Kansas. Both teams a plus $900 bet. The Purdue Boilermakers plus 1,200. Last night, number 4 UCLA beat Utah 78-71. The Bruins were favored by 7. Number 12 Gonzaga 97-72 winners over San Diego. The Bulldogs were a 23-point favorite. Number 15 St. Mary's 83-52 winners over Pacific. The Gales were favored by 13. Illinois upset number 21 Northwestern 66-62. The Illini were favored by 7.5.
Tom Luganbill here for my friends at Woody Anderson Ford. Bobby White and his team take great pride in their service department, and you can see it the moment you walk into those beautiful new service lanes. And just like a championship team, they all work together to make sure your experience is second to none, whether you drive a Ford or not. Also, check out the gold certified pre-owned inventory at Woody Anderson Ford for great deals every day. Stop by and see them at Jordan and Sparkman or at Woody Anderson of Madison on Hughes Road, or visit WoodyAndersonFord.com.
Hi, this is Wes Neighbors. I'm here with Sam Fleming with Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Sam, tell the folks about Fleming Roofing and Restoration.
Hey, Wes. Our company, Fleming Roofing and Restoration, specializes in commercial and residential roofing and repairs. I'm a fifth-generation Huntsvillian, and our family's been doing construction business in Huntsville area since 1965.
Sam, what kind of roofs does Fleming Roofing and Restoration do?
Our guys are skilled enough. We can come out and address any kind of leaks or issues you might have on your commercial, on your metal roofing, on your shingles. We can do anything, and we can offer you a solution to repair it, or we can replace it.
Well, you guys also do insurance restoration.
Our staff has 10-plus years of experience as insurance adjusters, and we really do know the inside and out of the claims process at Fleming Roofing and Restoration.
Check out Fleming Roofing and Restoration online at FlemingHSV.com, or you can call or text them at 256-651-9440.
Hey, Wes, we show up.
The college basketball regular season is winding down, and the football specials at Humphrey's Bar and Grill are now going to extend into basketball season with football specials during every Auburn and Alabama basketball games. Don't miss Humphrey's game day specials from $2.75 Miller Lite, Yingling, Coors Light pints, $3.50 Yellowhammer Gold pints. Anytime Auburn or Alabama is on the screen, Humphrey's, always a party, never a cover. Located online at humphreysdowntown.com.
SportsMed is the official team physicians of the Rocket City Trash Pandas. And if the pros trust SportsMed, you can too. SportsMed provides every service you might need for complete orthopedic care, specializing in orthopedic surgery, sports medicine, joint replacement, spine surgery, neurosurgery, and podiatry. And they offer their own brace shop, in-house full-body MRI, physical therapy, walk-in clinic, and so much more. 4 locations and on the web at sportsmedalabama.com.
The crimson and white jerseys.
Front court to the rack and the flush.
The sound of a buzzer beater.
Got it to go as the buzzer sounds.
The Roll Tide chant from the crowd. It can only be Alabama basketball. Join the Alabama Crimson Tide right here on your home for Alabama basketball.
Listen to Alabama basketball all season long on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Emily Owen. For this Friday, expect scattered showers throughout the day. Otherwise, we'll see a cloudy sky. High temperatures are expected to top out in the mid and upper 50s for the afternoon. We could also see gusty winds as high as 25 miles per hour. For your Friday night, we'll keep scattered showers in the forecast, a mostly cloudy sky. Low temperatures falling back down into the low 50s for the overnight. I'm meteorologist Emily Owen on your home for ESPN Radio 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
I want to thank you. Thank you for making us your #1 choice for sports talk in North Alabama.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you very much.
97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Show here at Bubby's Diner. I tell you, when you're thinking about that vanilla milkshake that you're going to have on the road when you leave at 2 o'clock, the show just goes slower and slower. Grizzo, sometimes we talk about how fast the show goes by.
Yeah.
We're like, man, the show goes by fast. When you've got a vanilla milkshake waiting for you, you know what I mean?
Yes.
It seems like it's going really slow.
I'm definitely going to have to get one on the way home for sure.
This one is slow.
It's taking too long.
Text window, if a friend of yours texted you, bring me my gun, how many seconds would go by before you ask, what do you need your gun for? What's going on? He said this guy is a homer big time. He was talking about Craig Stevenson. That's the part, I don't know that Craig was a homer, but that was the part that I'm hung up a little bit in my mind, is the second text of, bring me my gun. But the gun, he knew the gun was in the car. He's on the way there anyway. And does that not register a red flag, or did he not see that text? Because it makes it sound like, the attorney makes it sound like he was driving and he did not see the text about the gun until he got there, and he didn't even touch the gun. Davis went and got the gun out of the back seat of the car, and then almost like it was like an afterthought. That's the thing that I would want to know. I would want to know is that when did you know? Did you see the text immediately that Darius Miles wanted the gun? And when you did see the text, did you have any pause? Did that make you think what for? Did you ask why? What? You know what I mean? I think that's a legit question to ask.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you. Well, first, we shouldn't be texting and driving in the first place because it's distracting.
He wasn't texting. The other guy was texting.
Well, I was just saying, if you get a text message, you wouldn't want to look at it, though. If you get a phone call, I think a lot of times, you're going to pick it up immediately. But I feel like a lot of times either, if you're like me, like I said yesterday, where I'm not totally ignoring you, but I don't see it, or I...
No, you ignore me.
No,
if it's me, you block me.
9 times out of 10, I have my ringer turned all the way down, and I either don't hear the vibrate or I don't hear the phone call.
If it was your girlfriend, you would answer right away. Why would you have your ringer turned on? You're a very important person at the radio station. When I need to get a hold of you, I need to get a hold of you now. That's how I am.
Well, most of the time I have it on me, but I don't necessarily it sits in my seat when I drive. I don't necessarily have it on me.
So do you have that thing that says I'm driving, can't answer now? I'll continue. Wes has that. Oh, because I'll get these messages from Wes. I'll text Wes and it says can't talk now. I'm driving. See, that's a responsible thing to do. I've never put that on my phone because I don't know how to, but that's really the responsible thing to do. That says it. So do you think that Darius Miles got Darius Miles texts Brandon Miller and says, "Bring me my gun," and he gets a text back that says, "I'm driving right now. I'll respond to your text in a few moments, as soon as I can."
I mean, if he has it set, if here's the thing. If Brandon Miller has a really nice car, then he probably has that feature. I don't have that feature. I do have the feature that it has the little auto whatever
You
it's
have that
called.
feature on your phone.
Well, I'm just talking about the car though. If it's attached to the car, because if the Bluetooth attaches to it, then it's
Yeah.
gonna it has that feature where it reads the text to you.
Right,
So
right.
what if they could have tracked his OnStar or whatever that thing is, the inside the auto car or whatever?
Well,
and
he said
got that
he-
part.
He said that his phone, he's offering his phone that they can take and look at his phone and so on. So there's going to be they saw the text. Obviously, they know there was a text because they did look at his phone, and they saw that there was a text. Now, the question is there any response to the text?
It would have been seen when he sent it. Because if you click, it says seen. Because a lot of times if you see text messages, it says read or seen. Yeah.
Read or delivered are the two messages you get. Read or delivered.
Yeah.
All right, let me get to Paulie in the Cape. Paulie, welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm here for the holiest day of the week, the Friday trifecta.
There is no trifecta today. We only have trifectas now. We do the football season, and then we did one for the race last week. I think the next one we'll be doing will probably be around opening day of baseball. Then we'll do one for the Masters, but we don't do it every Friday.
What about the tournament? What about the?
Oh yeah, we'll have for the tournament. Yeah, we'll have in the Madness. Yeah, each weekend of the Madness, we'll pick the best games, and we'll have them in the Friday trifecta. There's no doubt about it.
What's the name of the fella that's working with you behind the glass?
That's Coach Grizz.
Hi.
That's Grizz.
Hey, Grizz, thanks for playing my favorite NFL song that you opened up the segment with. That's my song right there.
See,
that
he
NFL
knew.
Song.
It's NFL. What is that? NFL Films, and then I don't know the name of it.
You're channeling.
The one that you just played just now to start the show off. That's the one. That's the
What
best
was
one
that?
ever.
What was this one, Grizz? Do you know? Can you
It's
see
the
it
one
on
that
your?
starts off with the French horns and the drums.
Dum, dum, dum. That's the London Philharmonic, by the way, that recorded all. Let's hear it, Chris.
That's the one.
I can sing to NFL films. That's a good one.
Fired up to kick some butt football.
Yeah. There's no doubt about it.
As far as this kid from Alabama, hopefully he gets fortunately lucky that he was at the wrong place at the wrong time and didn't realize what next was going to happen. And hopefully he realizes this, a valuable, expensive lesson that your whole future is right now going to go one way or the other. Hopefully it goes the right way. You didn't pull the trigger, but the gun was already in the car. And, timing like this, did he look at the text? Did he pull up to the driveway of the place and he goes, oh, what, the guy wants a gun? Like, oh, he's going to use his gun. All this is happening within minutes. You're 18 years old, and your whole future right now, this kid's future is teetering on either becoming a great pick in the draft and making millions of dollars and having a great lifestyle, or is that a supersize? You want that?
Well, how do we feel about, in the first place, Darius Miles taking a gun with him to go out to the strip? He knows he can't take it in the bar. He leaves it in the back seat of the car. Obviously, there was no knowledge at that particular point in time that there was going to be this altercation with this guy and the girlfriend and the Harris woman. So they weren't. He didn't go there with that in mind. But what about even taking the gun? I mean, do you? Listen. I have nothing against gun ownership, legal gun ownership. But do you even take the gun down there with? I mean, does everybody do that when you're going out to the club, or do you lock your gun in the glove compartment or something? I mean, I don't know.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's pretty much the subject matter in a lot of fantastic songs we hear today on the radio. That's one of the subjects. Cruise around, got my 9, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Seems like the recipe to go out, get dressed, look sharp. Going to look for some lovely ladies, but they use another adjective.
Yeah.
And then, but I got my 9 with G-Dog. Hey.
Yeah. That's an interesting part of the story. It was a legal gun. It wasn't an illegal gun. It was a registered legal gun. He was a legal gun owner, and like I said, I got nothing against gun ownership.
Well, all these songs and all these movies you see, they never show the part where it just goes bad, and next you're arrested and going to jail.
Yeah, right.
The songs don't talk about that. The movies don't show that. They just talk about you get upset, get the gun, handle your business, and then life moves on. Well, unfortunately, the gun went off and someone's dead, and you were there. Where's those movies where the guy goes to jail and everybody goes, what a fantastic movie we saw today. The guy went to jail went to jail for his crime.
Yeah.
Well, this guy's life is now teetering on, does he get this with him for the rest of his life, or does he get lucky and goes, the 18-year-old kid was just driving the car back, didn't know that this guy was going to use the gun, and whatever ended up happening, the poor lady got killed. But I'm pretty sure that kid wasn't thinking this was going to go down.
Yeah. Well, no, he had no. Yeah, all the evidence is that he had no idea that what was going to be done. But do you ask the question, what do you need your gun for? What are we in target practice? I mean, what's going on here?
Yeah, I mean, at what time in the morning he's driving this thing to his car? I'm saying the other fella who used the gun, apparently that was the common denominator to end this issue or to resolve an issue. I need my gun. Well, like
exactly.
I said, hey, hopefully the kid moves on. But if not, what an expensive lesson. Either play ball or say, yeah, you want that supersized, or do I have to work weekends too? Yeah.
Yeah. I hear you.
All right,
Paulie. Appreciate you.
Bye.
All right, let's grab a break here. Our final break of the hour. We'll come back and set you up for hour number 2 next here from Bubby's Diner on Whitesburg on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
You're listening to the Thom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
I'm attorney Gary Lackey. You'll hear people say we're like a family, but here at the Lackey Law Firm, that's really true, not just a saying.
I'm Justin Lackey. With my father and my sister, we have a special connection to each other.
I'm Jennifer Lackey. At the Lackey Law Firm, when we take on your case, you become part of our family. You really do.
And we'll always do whatever it takes to get everything you deserve.
If you're injured, you worry about getting well, not about paperwork or insurance companies or figuring out how to get to your lawyer's office. I'll come to you.
We worry about your case so you don't have to.
When you've been injured, we know that your case is probably the biggest thing going on in your life. More important than almost anything else.
And it's important to us too, for one simple reason. Family takes care of each other, and at the Lackey Law Firm, we'll take care of you.
The Lackey Law Firm. The Lackey Law Family. 1-800-4-RIGHTS.
No representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
The Stretch Zone, with 2 locations in the Tennessee Valley, will get you ready for whatever spring activities you have planned, from golf to tennis or just to increase your general activity. The Stretch Zone can get you limbered up to feel your best. Plus, you'll be taught the best stretches that you can do on your own in between visits to one of our 2 locations in Hampton Cove and Huntsville or on Balch Road in Madison. Visit StretchZone.com for more information. That's StretchZone.com and be the best of you. Learn more at StretchZone.com.
Chad, cue the cheesy Italian music. So you're in charge of the dinner spot, and the family is a hard group to please. Dad wants award-winning 21-day-age certified Angus beef. Mom craves authentic Italian food like great-grandma. Sissy pretty much won't eat anything but fresh seafood. And old life of the party, Uncle Walter, likes to enjoy a cigar after dinner with some live local entertainment and some killer cocktails. So you think you're in a pickle? Well, you're not. Relax. I'm Tom Chapman, chef at Nick's Ristorante at 10300 Bailey Cove Road, just south of Weatherly. We have all that and more. Our friendly and helpful staff is eager to help you Tuesday through Saturday, starting at 5. So, corral that crazy crew of yours and give us a call at 256-489-8280 or tell them to check us out at nicksristorante.com. I promise you, the gang will all think you're a culinary cruise director of awesomeness if you take them all to Nick's. See you soon. Ciao. Okay, Chad, kill that music.
Nick's is for patrons 19 or older.
As we flip that calendar into February, a lot of things happening. You got Valentine's Day, you got the Madness of March, and you've got tax season all around the corner. Thomas from Talent Heating and Air is in studio with us to remind us, Thomas, you don't want to forget about your heating and air system as well.
Yeah, that's right. During tax season is a great time to look at upgrading your system or making a repair maybe you've been putting off. We're going to help you out with that. We're going to do a $1,000 discount if you mention this ad and give you a little bit of an extra rebate this tax season.
And you also want to make sure it is tuned up and ready to go for that spring season.
Yeah, spring in Alabama can be 90-degree days, right? So we want you to be ready for that ahead of time, so you can give us a call, and we're going to do a $49 special for all the listeners of this.
All right, that phone number?
It is 256-503-4490.
It's Talent Heating and Air's $49 tune-up special. Give them a call today.
This will turn journalism on its ear.
Watch our stream on WZZN TV on Twitch and YouTube.
But you are the greatest hero in American history.
We are 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Show live at Bubby's Diner here in Whitesburg. They even got like the stainless steel wall, behind you sit at the counter, and they've got the little stools. I need to take a picture. I'm going to take a picture of the layout here and then put it up there and show you what it looks like here at Bubby's Diner. All right, at the top of the hour, we're going to have phone lines open. They're open the entire second hour of the show. So Keith, the Michigan fan, you stay right there. You're first up in hour number 2. I am now that much closer to getting my vanilla milkshake for the road, coming up a little bit later on. So that's what it's all about today. It's all about getting me to the vanilla milkshake.
It doesn't sound bad at all. It's Friday.
No, it is Friday, man. Going to see the Jesus Revolution movie tonight, Grizz.
Oh, very cool. Yeah.
We bought tickets for 7 of my grandkids? I guess 7 of my grandkids and 4 or 5 of my kids. I don't know how many. We bought like 16 or 17 tickets. We're going to Tullahoma Theater to see the Jesus Revolution movie.
Very cool.
Yeah, I'm fired up for it. Hour number 2 is next. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
If you're ready to lower your utility bills, it's time to call Eagle Insulation. Eagle can handle it all. Attic re-insulation, insulation removal, wall insulation, and new construction insulation, commercial and residential. Our primary goal is to save you money, and lots of it. Typical clients realize their return on investment within 3 to 6 months. That means the re-insulation actually pays for itself and then some. See if we can help you. Contact Eagle Insulation today, 256-755-1556, or log on insulatewitheagle.com.
You've got to experience Toyotathon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota today and experience Toyotathon. Bill Penny Toyota in Huntsville and online at BillPennyToyota.com. Bill Penny's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details.
This is Sports Center.
I'm Christine Lisi. Quarterback Russell Wilson asked Seahawks ownership in February 2022 to fire coach Pete Carroll and GM John Schneider, hoping the team would hire Sean Payton as its new coach. According to a report today from The Athletic, Wilson instead was traded to the Broncos in March. Denver went 5-12 this past season, recently hired Payton as its head coach. Wilson via Twitter today denied pushing for the firings. He said Carroll was a father figure to him and that Schneider believed in him and drafted him. NBA Friday doubleheader tips off with the Bucks, winners of 12 straight, hosting the Heat, 7 Eastern ESPN TV. Milwaukee's Giannis Antetokounmpo questionable with that injured wrist. Then the Suns welcome the Thunder. Phoenix's Kevin Durant continues to recover from an MCL sprain. He's been ruled out. Point guard Russell Westbrook set to make his Clippers debut versus the Kings tonight.
WZZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
From the University of Alabama, this is Crimson Tide Today. Its daily update on Bama sports and it's brought to you by Everwood Treatment Company, the official treated lumber of Alabama athletics. Everwood, wood treated right. Hello again, everybody. I'm Roger Hoover. On Thursday's edition of Crimson Drive, driven by NASCAR, SEC Network basketball analyst Richard Hendricks took a look ahead to Saturday's men's basketball matchup for the Crimson Tide against the Arkansas Razorbacks.
Very tough. And I'm going to tell you, this is a different Arkansas Razorback team. They're healthier. They have Nick Smith Jr. back in the roster. They're confident and talent-wise. This is a team that can step toe-to-toe with Alabama. Now, they do have the advantage of playing in Coleman Coliseum, one of the better home court advantages as it's been for them this season. So they'll have to continue to ride that wave. But you can't expect the same Arkansas that Alabama played earlier in the season in Fayetteville. They have a little bit more swagger. They're playing really good basketball. They won decisively in their last game. So they'll be prepared.
I'll have more in a moment.
Producing championship quality lumber is not an easy process, but at Everwood Treatment Company, it's our only process. Wood treated right. Everwood is championship quality lumber for decks, outdoor structures, commercial jobs, and more that you can build your reputation on. No rot, no decay, no termites, no problems. Just wood treated right. To locate your local Everwood store, visit everwoodtreatment.com. Everwood Treatment, official lumber of the Alabama Crimson Tide.
We've got you covered for men's basketball against Arkansas on Saturday. Tip-off from Coleman Coliseum is set for 1 p.m. Central, with our radio coverage starting at noon. For a full listing of our radio affiliates, head to RollTide.com. And don't forget, you can also listen on the Varsity Network app and watch the Courtside Cam streaming live on all CTSN social media channels. Crimson Tide Today is brought to you by Everwood. Crimson Tide Today is a production of the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
This is Brent Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Check out VSiN's catalog of original podcasts, daily and weekly programming to keep you in the know when you're on the go. Only at VSIN.com. Now, here are the latest lines from my guys in the desert.
Major League Spring Training actually gets underway this weekend. 3 games on the schedule today. The full schedule picks up tomorrow. Looking at futures odds for the 2023 World Series, the defending champion Houston Astros are favored at plus 650. They're followed by the Yankees and Dodgers and Mets at plus 800. The Atlanta Braves a plus $1,000 bet, along with San Diego. Toronto and Philadelphia plus $1,500 bets. The longest odds are on Oakland at plus 100,000, Washington plus 50,000. Early MVP odds: Juan Soto plus 600, Mookie Betts plus 900, Ronald Acuna Jr. plus 1,000, Paul Goldschmidt plus 1,200. Get the latest lines and more at vsin.com.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Emily Owen. For this Friday, expect scattered showers throughout the day. Otherwise, we'll see a cloudy sky. High temperatures are expected to top out in the mid and upper 50s for the afternoon. We could also see gusty winds as high as 25 miles per hour. For your Friday night, we'll keep scattered showers in the forecast, a mostly cloudy sky. Low temperatures falling back down into the low 50s for the overnight. I'm meteorologist Emily Owen on your home for ESPN Radio 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
You know, this process is all about talking ball.
Listen to Talkin' Ball with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond.
What did they want privacy for? To just start talking ball.
Every weekday morning, wake up with Scott and Drew. It's Talkin' Ball. 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
You need to be more like a dog.
Like what you guys are doing. You've got your fingertip on the pulse of your listeners. You guys know what they're talking about.
Be a dog.
God bless the show. You are the Messiah.
We need more dogs.
This is the best show on radio.
The big dog, Thom Abraham, is here with you.
Hey, I see you. Hey, I see you, dog.
So settle in and get your bark on.
That's my dog.
Now live. Here he is, the big dog.
Let's go, baby.
Thom Abraham.
How you doing? 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 How you doing?
Look, I don't speak Spanish.
I don't know how to say this, so I'm going to choose my words very carefully. I think you're a psycho.
Do you know who I am?
I mean, that guy sounds like El McPherson farting into Miles Davis' trumpet.
I guess I'm on here. Am I on? Can somebody respond? Get off my lawn.
I have to drag my Yankee ass out of here.
Yeah, welcome back. Hour number 2 of the Thom Abraham Show, live on location at Bubby's Diner. I mean, this place is absolutely tremendous on Whitesburg Lane. You need to come on down, have a little lunch, a lunchtime show here. And don't be afraid to come on by my broadcast location if you come down and say hello. And who knows, maybe I'll buy you lunch. It could happen that way. I got some lunches to buy. I could buy you lunch, all right? Chris was in here for breakfast this morning. Moulton and I had lunch here today as well. And I don't even know, Chris, are they open for dinner? Do they stay open right through dinner?
I think they're open until 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock.
Really?
Like, they don't open too late. But yeah, they're open. They're open till about
3 meals.
That's still dinner. Yeah, yeah.
That's breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I mean, no, absolutely. That's breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I mean, that's tremendous. And there needs to be. I think there should be another location. I got to talk to Chris about that. I got to see. We need to get another location somewhere west of town. Someplace going into Madison or something like that. Bubby's Diner in like Providence, Maine would kill. You know what I mean?
7 a.m. to 8 p.m. 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. closed on Sundays.
Grizz, you know what's happening in 1 hour? I mean, other than me getting that vanilla milkshake.
I'll be there to get another milkshake.
Do you know what happens in 1 hour besides me getting that milkshake and getting out of here?
What happens in 1 hour?
In 1 hour, the Texas Rangers and the Kansas City Royals and Seattle and San Diego open spring training.
Nice.
And I don't even know where Kansas City trains anymore. I mean, they used to train in Fort Myers at Terry Park when I was a kid in Fort Myers, Florida. The Kansas City Royals used to train there. But I think Kansas City is in – San Diego must be in Arizona. I think Kansas City trains somewhere in Florida. They're not in.
It'd be nice to be down there, wouldn't cover some baseball.
I'm going to be down there in 2 weeks. Well, next week I'm out of the box. I'm here Monday and Tuesday next week, and then I'm out of the box Wednesday, Thursday, Friday for an event with Bassmaster on Lake Eufaula. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then from there I'm heading down to Florida, where my daughter's going to be having some surgery, and we're going to go down there and help out. I'm going to do the show Monday, Tuesday from down there, and then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We'll have SEC basketball action. So we're going to be covered up anyway. So I got a choice, Grizz. I do want to go to a spring training game. Do I go to the Detroit Tigers and the Boston Red Sox game, or do I go to the World Baseball Congress U.S. team split squad game against the Minnesota Twins? So I see the WBC team playing the Minnesota
team.
It's a split squad.
You don't know who you might see on that, yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, Judge isn't playing, so I mean, come on. It's not like the big bigs. I mean, they got Mike Trout.
I'd probably then I would see the two. I would see the two teams. Yeah, I would see the. Yeah.
I don't know though. I mean, because there are some good. I mean, you do have some stars on there. I'm just saying, it's just it would be unique to see the split squad of the WBC. I think that would be unique.
Get to see some Team US baseball. It'd be pretty cool.
Team USA, yeah, maybe get a Team USA hat. Although I hate the WBC. I mean, I used
so to have one, and then I think I lost it actually in a fishing accident, or not an accident, but like when you put your hat on and you don't put it. No. You don't put it on properly, and it doesn't sit on your hat right, and then you hit that wind just right, and it goes right off your head, and it's like, well, I'm not going to get that because it doesn't float.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, I lost a good hat out of that one.
Phone lines are open. 256-576-4977 will get you into the show. All right, let's go to those lines. Keith, the Michigan fan, is up. Keith, welcome to the show. How are you?
Doing all right, big dog. Talking about baseball, that's one of the things I missed about Detroit. And when I do go home in the summertime, I pick up a buddy or two, and we head to Tiger Stadium and watch the ball games. As a kid, I used to walk to Tiger Stadium with a bunch of us, and it cost 50 cents to get in the game. I would get at 12 years old, I would get a $2 from my mother, 50 cents to get in the game, hot dog, popcorn, and a Verner's ginger ale, and I still had change coming home.
Did they have a knothole gang club deal where kids go, like when I was a kid, up until you were like 14 years old, you can get a knothole ticket, and that would get you the whole seat. It cost like $5, and you could get this ticket, and then you could go to like 14 games, and they called it the knothole gang, and it was because like back in the day, the little kids used to go and look through the knothole in the outfield to watch the baseball game.
No, we didn't have that, but we did have bat day. Every kid got a baseball bat. And in the seventh inning stretch, they asked the kids to hold up the bat, and it looked like the whole stadium was full of toothpicks, basically.
They don't do bat day anymore. Now they do it. You get like your bat on the way out, because see nowadays you can't do it anymore because a riot's going to break out. I mean, that's unfortunate, but it's true. If they do bat day, somebody's getting hurt. You know what I mean? So now they'll do. Some places do a bat day, but you get your bat as you leave the stadium.
Oh, okay. But, hey, I'm that kid from Alabama basketball.
Yeah.
He must have didn't get the talk because I remember I was telling my wife about it, telling my son, be careful of your friends and who you take when he first started driving, because I explained to him, if you stop at a gas station to get some gas and the guy in the car with you goes into the store and robs the store, comes back, get in your car, and you drive off. You don't even know what he did, but now you are accessory to armed robbery because you drove the vehicle. You provided him transportation.
And in that case, you're getting charged. I mean, this kid didn't get charged, but I remember the talk I used to get was our coach used to say this, that if you were like out with a bunch of guys and a guy was smoking a joint and like the cops pulled up, and if he dropped the joint on the ground next to you, you're getting charged too. That's what he used to tell them. I don't know if it was true or not, but that's what they used to say. They used to say that, you know, even if you're standing with a guy and he drops the joint next to you, the cops are going to charge you. They'd scare you. Now, add to the caveat, you talk about what you told your kid, right? Add to the caveat, oh, by the way, kid, in 6 months you were going to be a multi-millionaire. Now, at that particular point in time,
you don't do nothing.
You do nothing, all right? I mean, I'm saying that kid,
hang out with friends.
You don't even have friends. You sit in your house and you look at video games or watch TV. He had played a game that afternoon, and you know, so they had already played. And, you just sit and watch somebody else play basketball and do nothing, wait to cash those checks.
But I got a story for you, a true story. Now, when I went into the military in 75, I asked a buddy of mine to come go with me. He said, nah, he'll join a couple of weeks later because I went in on the buddy plan, so I had to find another guy. But now, when I came home from basic training, he was in jail. And my sister told me that he had got on drugs. I didn't know it. But now, he went to a drug house to rob the drug house with this guy. The guy killed the owner of the drug house and tried to kill him too. But now his blood is at the house, so he goes to the hospital to get stitched up, and he gets charged. Now they find out that he didn't kill the lady, but he was there. So that's accessory. Yeah. Now he got out after maybe 15 years. Then he witnessed somebody being beat to death, and he did not tell the police, and they put him back in jail for accessory again. So, you know, when you look at the legal system to where you got rich people and politicians breaking all types of laws and never go to jail, why would you put your life, especially if you're going to be a multimillionaire, in jeopardy messing around with some knuckleheads?
Yeah, well, that's a good part of the story. And the part of it is, you know, the youth being wasted on the young part of it. I guess, I mean, he's a 19-year-old kid and so on and so forth. But I don't like those excuses either. When you say, well, he's a 19-year-old kid. Let me tell you something. When I was 20 years old, I was a father and I had a mortgage on a house. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I don't know if I'm buying that argument.
No, it's just that money, it seems like money has its roots into the legal system, just like everything else.
Sure.
Just like if you can buy your way out of going to jail when everybody's seen you do something and you can delay it for 10 years hoping that everybody forgets about it, something's wrong with the system. But it's supposed to be the best in the world.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know that this is the case here. I don't think that, based on what I've seen and the fact that the prosecution has, you know, one of the things that was kind of interesting that the prosecution said was that you can't arrest everybody, otherwise, not the prosecution, it was an attorney. It was an attorney that said that, you know, you can't arrest everybody at the scene, otherwise you got no witnesses. That was a pretty good thing. So they're like, okay, we're going to arrest these two guys because they were the point men on the deal, but we're not going to arrest the guy who drove the car down there to happen to have the gun in it because we need him as a witness. You know what I mean?
But I see that doesn't make sense. That does not make sense because if he doesn't take him the gun, then the young lady is alive.
But did he take him the gun, or was he just going down there to pick him up and the gun was in the back seat? So that's the part of it, is the story that you got to give him the benefit of the doubt on that, because then he didn't really commit a crime. He was on his way down there. The gun was in. It was a legal gun in the back seat, but once the guy texted him and said, "Hey, bring me my gun." At that point in time, don't you say, what's going on?
Yeah,
it's like, is there something going on? Are we having target practice? Are we hunting? Are we going hunting at 1 o'clock in the morning? What is going on?
Who drives around with a gun laying in the back seat of their vehicle? I mean, if the police stops him, 19-year-old young black male, and he has a gun in the vehicle, he's in trouble.
But it wasn't his gun. It was Miles's gun, and it was a legal gun. Yeah. So do you say to him, if you're a responsible buddy, do you say to Miles, like when you're dropping Miles off at the club, do you say to Miles, hey, get that gun, by the way, get your gun out of my car. I know I'm going to a different restaurant. I don't really want to be carrying your gun around.
Don't even, okay, I'm in 6 weeks, or 6 months, I'm going to be a millionaire. Why would you even get in my car if you my friend with a gun on? I don't need no complications whatsoever.
Yeah, legal or otherwise. Yeah, right.
Right. Yep. All right.
Good point. All right, man. Appreciate you.
That's the one question, basically, is, yeah, he got, like, the gun was in the car, but how many times has, like, a friend probably, like, has gotten in your car and you wouldn't have even known that he had it on him because he had it wrapped in something, or, like, you wouldn't know that he had it on him because he might have it holstered, or he might have it in his pocket, like,
why did he toss it behind it? Well, why would he toss it in the back seat and put it underneath clothes, except for the fact that he had the gun?
Yeah.
And then when he got out of the car to go into the club, you can't take the gun in the club, so he just put he just covered it up and put it in the back seat. You know?
Yeah, of course. If he covered
There's
it
some
up,
bad decision making going on here. Yeah. Tom Perkins has slid by our set here at Bubby's Diner. Do you have your gun, or did you leave it in the car?
No, I left it in the car.
Your
but
joint? Did you bring your heater with you? Did you bring your joint with you, or did you?
I also left that in the car. No, I mean, I can walk in anywhere with a gun, apparently. No permits in this state, right? Isn't that how it works?
Well, no. Well, he said it was a legal gun, so that must mean it was registered. I mean, it's got to be registered.
Yeah, he has. Well, yeah, I think you have to have it registered, but you don't have to pay.
A legal firearm.
You don't have to have you don't have to pay for a permit to own a gun in this state anymore.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, look that up.
They still do background checks and things like that.
Yeah. I mean, if you have a criminal background or anything like that,
what's the difference between a legal gun and an illegal gun?
I don't know how they define that in today's.
It was a legal gun.
February 24th. I don't know how they define that.
I don't know.
Because I mean, if you go to Bullet and Barrel or wherever down the road here, and you say I want a gun, they'll run a background check, but you don't have to pay for a license or a permit anymore. You used
but you
to.
Still can't. You can't conceal carry into a club.
I don't know.
In Tennessee, you can.
I think you can. I don't think you. Yeah, I'm going down a road. I don't have enough information to talk about.
Grizz, check that out. See if he would have been allowed to take the gun with him into the club. Whether or not you could take a gun with you into a club. Because in Tennessee you can. I know that in Tennessee you can now.
Yeah. I think you can.
Tennessee's like the Wild Wild West.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
a long state, man.
I've been to a few around here downtown, and I really don't think you can bring one in.
Unless they post, I think they have to. I think they can post, like they can post, please leave your firearms or no firearms allowed.
Yeah, there are places around there that do that.
If they don't post it that says no firearms allowed, you can take your gun in there. Yeah. So it's not. It's up to the proprietor to say that you can't bring your gun in.
Right, or indicate, on the door, like you said, hey, leave it behind.
No firearms.
This ain't the
if you're 6 months away from making millions and millions of dollars, are you even screwing around with any of this stuff?
Look,
we're old men, we're smart. We got wisdom.
Well, you're scratching at something that I have continuously battled with internally, is asking the same question: why? I don't think a guy like that gets into a situation like that without putting himself in situations that led up to that.
Right.
Whether it's the types of friends he chose, whether it's the circumstance, whether it's even buying the gun and having it and letting his friends know. I mean, I don't know, but I just think that everyone's focused so much more on what he's done, and they should be, because it's part of a heinous crime.
Mm-hmm.
But what led him to that very moment that's the problem.
Yeah.
That's what led to
poor decision making. That's
and
the thing.
Being taught,
not a crime,
and being taught,
but being a knucklehead.
Right, and being taught poor decision making and being led to believe that making bad decisions is either non-punishable or okay to do.
Now, if he did do something with his vehicle to block the victim in, which there's no video evidence of, now you're complicit. Now you're part of the act. But according to his attorneys, he had actually parked before the Jeep came down the street, and the Jeep slid in behind him. So it wasn't like it might have been blocking him, but he wasn't blocking him. He didn't do it on purpose to block the guy in to make him an easier victim.
Right. He probably just ended up parking there, and it ended up being, impeding. See, that's the thing. All this stuff gets split down the middle, and these hairs get split on, what the intention was, what what the motive was, what all that is. And when you start dissecting all these little itsy-bitsy things one by one, it starts becoming, the mole becomes a mountain. And
he doesn't have a girlfriend or something? I mean, you're Brandon Miller. He's a good-looking kid. He's clean-cut, good-looking kid.
Got a great future ahead of him.
Got an unbelievable future ahead of him. I mean, shouldn't he be like with a girl, like at home watching a movie or something like that? Or
you would think.
Playing NBA 2023 or doing something on a video game?
You would think.
I mean, like a bubble wrap.
Yeah,
everybody stay away from me, okay?
Well, somebody should be in his life telling him those things. There should be at least some person.
They may have.
Maybe he did, and didn't take the advice. I mean, we don't know, and I guess we've yet to have the opportunity to ask the questions. This stuff will come out; it will trickle out. But I feel bad for the kid. I mean, it's not the situation that he needs to be in. It's not the situation that the team needs to be in. It's not a great mark on the university. I mean, there's just a lot of things that I'm sure they'd really want to just get answers to, and then eventually conclude whatever this means and move forward. But right now, I mean, it's more questions than answers. Meanwhile, this guy's trying to be the superstar of the number one team in the land, and you're never going to convince me that outside issues and distractions don't eventually pay their price on the court. They always do. They always do.
Here's the law. Alabama has no statutes prohibiting firearms in the following places, although administrative regulations may apply. Hospitals, places of worship.
Oh, yeah.
Places of worship. Right, so the hospital, so you can roll around in the hospital. There's not prohibited. Dude can walk in a hospital
but
with
I think
side
that's what
piece
hospital asks people to leave their firearms in their cars.
Places of worship. I know my church. I know pretty much at my church. I don't think you bring a gun in there. Bars or restaurants where alcohol is served.
That's
Wait a minute.
understandable.
Are these prohibited or not prohibited?
Read that again.
Grizz has no statutes
prohibiting, but keep going. You've got more.
Okay.
You've got more notes.
Worships, gambling facilities, or polling places. Gambling, we can't even play the lottery in Alabama.
So that essentially means that all these establishments can enforce their own regulations.
Apparently, because it says Alabama prohibits carrying of a handgun on private property that is not owned or under the control of the possessor, unless the person carries the handgun pursuant to a valid concealed handgun license. So there must be a concealed handgun license, or the consent of the property owner. The possession of a firearm within any wildlife management area with a valid permit, blah, blah, blah. People, including individuals with a concealed handgun license, are prohibited from possessing firearms without the express permission
of the NFL, the NBA, and the Major League Baseball.
Have a premises in jail, prison, facility. I don't even know. Now it's getting real deep in the weeds.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh, this thing is so long. All right, it got very deep.
Pursuant to this, adjacent to that.
Just stay home.
Conclusion to
just
really.
Stay home.
Just leave it home, man.
Just stay home. There's a game on. You got a girlfriend, and you got video games. Just stay at home. All right, we're going to break it. Thom Perkins is hanging out here from the TOC. We'll catch up with him here in a moment. Phone lines are open if you want to jump in. 256-576-4977. We are at Bubby's Diner. It was on sale this morning on Zone Deals. Sold out in about 37 minutes. And
what was the deal?
You could get $50 worth of Bubby's Diner for $25.
Oh, in this place?
Yep, right here.
That's a whole lot of donut burgers.
That's a lot of donut burgers. Yeah, absolutely. I did not have a donut burger. I had.
Have you had one?
I have not, because that goes over the line for my diabetes. You know what I'm saying? Like the Wilford Brimley. I got the diabetes.
Probably.
And I'm just thinking the donut burger.
You don't need the diabetes.
One step too far.
Right, exactly.
I had my personal favorite, which is Kimmy's Bacon Jam Cheeseburger, which has no sugar in it, I'm sure. But it even says on the menu, see? That the
Tom Abraham, the big dog's favorite.
So, I can't. What am I supposed to order?
It's a staple.
I can't order anything else.
No, you can't.
Put my name on it.
Don't you dare get an appetizer, my friend.
I can't get anything else. I got that. I had that. All right, we'll get a break. And I didn't even know what bacon jam was until I came here to Bubby's. And now I know. But 4 or 5 times I've had it now.
It's two great things together is what it is.
Bacon anything is great. All right, we'll get a break. When we come back, phone lines are open if you want to join the conversation. 256-576-4977. We'll get you into the show. I'm going to work a little baseball in here because There are spring training games that are opening right now, and there's some talk about the possibility there's going to be 2 expansion teams in baseball in the near future. And a lot of people think that it's Nashville and Charlotte, that 2 more teams in the South are coming to Major League Baseball to bring baseball to 32. But what do you do with the American League and the National League if that happens? We'll discuss it right here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
You're listening to the Thom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Isn't the story of the prodigal son an amazing story? Basically, a rowdy boy who literally wished his father dead ran away and consumed his wealth with hard and fast living. Yet the father looked for his return every day, and when the boy got tired of eating pig slop, he decided to return. What did the father do? As soon as he saw that boy, he ran to him, threw his arms around him, and killed the fatted calf for a great celebration. Hey, I'm John Dees, pastor of the Cross Point Church. If you're looking for a church home, come see us, smack dab across the street from the YMCA in Madison.
The kitchen is the heart of any home. It's where the family gathers. It's where kids discover old recipes and make them their own. Just starting out or just now getting started on the dream kitchen you've always wanted?
I'm Chris Haygood, and from all of us here at Bob Wallace Appliance to the home builders and the homeowners of the Huntsville area, a heartfelt thank you for buying local. We're in Huntsville, Florence, and Coleman, and online at bobwallaceappliance.com.
Not looking or feeling your best? No energy for the things you like to do? Ready to look and feel younger? Make your appointment at Advanced Life Clinic, one of the region's foremost destinations for patients interested in looking and feeling their best. Specializing in advanced laser treatments and weight loss, male and female rejuvenation to offset the effects of aging, and more. See how Advanced Life Clinic can help you enjoy your life again. Call 256-882-6555 or log on advancedlifeclinic.com.
The new Cheeseburger Bobby's on Carl T. Jones Drive in South Huntsville is focused on serving great food prepared with the absolute freshest ingredients, featuring classic hamburgers and cheeseburgers with lots of specialty options, chicken and hot dogs, even turkey burgers and veggie burgers, along with fresh cut fries, onion rings, or coleslaw. Always fresh, never frozen, except for the frozen custard. See all the delicious options at Cheeseburger Bobby's for yourself. Check out the menu and more at cheeseburgerbobbies.com.
Are you looking for a quality job? Well, the University of Alabama in Huntsville is having a career fair for custodians, technicians, and maintenance and landscaping professionals to join their UAH facilities team. You can enjoy a good work-life balance on a beautiful campus, excellent benefits, training opportunities, and a respectful team atmosphere. Visit our career fair on Wednesday, March 1st from 3 to 6 p.m. in Morton Hall at 1310 Ben Graves Drive on the UAH campus, or apply at uah.edu today.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Emily Owen. For this Friday, expect scattered showers throughout the day. Otherwise, we'll see a cloudy sky. High temperatures are expected to top out in the mid and upper 50s for the afternoon. We could also see gusty winds as high as 25 miles per hour. For your Friday night, we'll keep scattered showers in the forecast, a mostly cloudy sky. Low temperatures falling back down into the low 50s for the overnight. I'm meteorologist Emily Owen on your home for ESPN Radio 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Everything you need is just a click away.
I should come up sometimes, silly.
Okay, almost everything.
Come up, I'll tell you a fortune.
Log on today, 977ESPN.com. 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Show live on location. Bubby's Diner is where we're at. The segment brought to you by Woody Anderson Ford and the fine folks at the service department at Woody Anderson Ford, where they do a tremendous job on your vehicle, no matter if it's a Ford or not. Woody Anderson Ford can take care of you. Tom Perkins has slid by here at Bubby's Diner as well, of course, from TOC, longtime supporters of the Thom Abraham Show. I have known Tom Perkins for 18 years now. I don't know if he knew that. I've known him for 18 years.
Yes.
His hair is still brown, and I don't think it's colored. I don't know if he's not coloring the hair.
I have family members that can vouch for that.
But now he is a full-blown gray beard. I mean, he is a full-on beard from sideburn to sideburn, across the lip and everything, full-on beard. So if you're your age, and you have this unbelievable head of hair that has not shown any gray, maybe just a little gray at the temples, a little bit of that distinguished temple gray. Why in the heck would you grow a full beard? What's up with the beard?
Well,
I mean, there's got plenty of time to be a gray beard.
Yeah, I think that I think you and my wife read the same book. I'll say that. I've been accused of having a baby face for a very, very long time.
You've always been youthful looking.
Yeah, I've always.
You and Chris Stewart. You look like you're like 25 years old.
Right. So why would we want to rush it along? I don't know. I mean, maybe it started. I think it started out being lazy for a week on vacation and just not wanting to do much after that, and then. I had grown a beard before. I had people at work. Tom, I grew a beard for 8 months and showed my face quite frequently inside TOC. And I had a conversation with somebody I've worked with. I'll be at TOC 19 years next Wednesday. I don't know if you know that.
Wow.
19 years next Wednesday. And this is a lady that's been there since day one.
So that means I've known you 19 years, probably.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
because that's about right. Yeah, because you had just taken the TOC job. I got here in March of 2004.
That's March 1st was my first day at TOC.
And you were because you had come off. You had been doing radio with one of the stations in town.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right. And I got with you, and we went straight into I guess Vipers at that time.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, straight into Vipers.
That's why I came here originally, was for the Tennessee Valley Vipers.
Exactly. So
I'm opposite you. See, my wife just got back from San Diego, where one of our daughters lives with her husband, and she went out there to visit for a week, 8 days. I think is how long she was gone. So I just stopped shaving. I shave for my wife because she doesn't like it.
Oh, don't say that. My wife's going to text me right now and say that.
I have to say
he does it for his wife. That's
it's worse. It's really bad in the beginning, especially because it's when it's really scratchy.
It is scratchy. You got to let it grow out. Like I was saying, the lady that had been working with me forever, she's like, you had a beard, so I felt the problem was I didn't let it grow out enough. So I let it grow out enough, and sure, that was the trick.
So I thought I would have a Kenny Rogers thing going on. You know what I mean? Because my hair is as dark as white now as white can be, right? So I thought, nice. I have a nice white beard. I got the white hair, and I'll have a little Kenny Rogers thing going on. My beard I'm opposite. My beard came in like all salt and pepper.
Oh, really?
I mean, a lot of dark in my beard. So my mustache is almost totally black, and my beard was all salt and pepper, and my head is totally white now, just about totally gray. And your head is like totally like you're coloring your hair, and your beard is a completely different color. So you'd look 15 years younger if you shaved.
Yeah, well, probably. Maybe I should. They always say, I read somewhere that there are a lot of contributing factors to white facial hair. So.
Yes, yeah, that's a
and
good
white
point.
hair in general.
In general, yeah, that is a good point.
Hey, teenage daughters will do that too. You've been there.
Tell me, I've been there 5 times.
Yeah,
I've been there. Wait till you start marrying them off. I've married off all 5 of them too.
Come on,
one of them twice.
You're killing me. You're killing me.
So what's going on over at TOC? How are things going over there?
Man,
I mean, busy time of year.
So much stuff going on. I mean, Tim Alexander.
Yeah.
The UAB guy. So he's coming in town. In fact, he's coming in town tonight. He's going to be our guest speaker. We have a big ortho conference every year. We haven't had it the past couple of years because of COVID, but we're bringing it back. We have a big ortho conference. He's going to be our guest speaker. Taking him out to dinner tonight.
Right.
I'm really interested to sit down with him, pick his brain about things. What an amazing story that guy has put together, and really taken his calling to the next level. I think in terms of sports, of course, we had 6 regional winners that were part of the TOC family that have danced to the Final Four, which we can't be more proud of. Yeah. And of course, we're so proud of all the teams that had great seasons and successful seasons. And
the first year with Buckhorn, and they're in the Final Four.
First year with Buckhorn,
and they're rocking and rolling all the way to the Final Four.
We're just tickled pink to be a part of that school and really to offer the care that we bring to so many kids, student athletes around here, to them. I hope that in a small way we've done a little to help them get to the Final Four. I feel like in a way we have, and being able to support them now amongst the family it's a blessing. It really is. I mean, it's much more of an honor for us to have them as part of our family.
I haven't been in the new arena over there at A&M yet.
I haven't either, but it's I need to take a tour.
It was a game night.
I need to take it. Well, I saw the Florida A&M game. I watched that on ESPN Plus, and what they were showing of the. I mean, it looks fantastic from the inside. Yeah. It's wonderful. It's beautiful.
That is nice.
So switch gears a little bit. Let's talk a little bit about the professional soccer team. That's just a few weeks away. So. lot of people don't know this yet, but TOC and Huntsville Hospital will be the official sports medicine providers for the professional soccer team, the Huntsville City Football Club. We've been working with those folks out of Nashville for several months, and got to take a tour of the new Joe Davis Stadium on Tuesday. Which look. If you remember what Joe Davis Stadium was like, it will be very nostalgic, because there are still parts of it where you're like, yeah, this used to be this and this used to be this. So there's just there is a lot of familiarity, which I tip the cap to the city too. They've really they really put a lot of spit and polish onto the stadium, but also kept a lot of what made it unique. Right. But it's going to be state of the art, and I think what's really fantastic is they're working to retrofit this thing to not only accommodate high school footballs, but upper levels of football as well. Maybe a potential bowl game. Well, that's the worst kept secret. That's the worst kept secret in town. But I think they're even talking hosting a bowl game or something like that. I mean, I think it could reach that level, which I think would be really exciting for a city like this, particularly a new venue like that.
No, I think it's going to be beautiful. We see it whenever we go to the radio station, because it's right near us, right across the street there, and so we can kind of see the progress. I've seen the artist renderings, what it's going to look like.
Yeah,
and it really is spectacular.
Coming together. Yeah, it really is coming together.
Here's the thing. Being that it's soccer, though, you have to have like your best conditioned trainers on that, because in soccer they flop a lot. We've
already talked about that.
They look like they got shot from the crowd. All it's that boom, you got to run out there, and then the guy jumps up like Lazarus.
I think we've been watching a lot of World Cup.
Yeah,
I think we
head
have.
on out there, because the guy looks like he's got a devastating knee injury, and then he jumps up and he's back in the game 3 minutes later. So it's soccer, you know what I mean?
I get it.
Yeah.
No, we've been fortunate that they put their trust in us to get these guys ready. We had the team in, at least the incoming players who needed physical exams, come in a couple weekends ago, and got a chance to meet those guys. They're young, they're excited, they're thrilled at the opportunity to get playing time, and they're really getting to know just how fanatical Huntsville is with their soccer.
Do you have another date set up yet for the next round of physicals for the high school kids? You guys do your thing?
So we just finished our spring physicals in January. I know that sounds strange, but we do those in anticipation of the kids getting their physicals. And now, if for all the student athletes that are part of our sports medicine family, which, if you're curious, visit TOC.com and go to sports medicine, and it gives a long list. If you're a student athlete at any of those schools, then we get the opportunity to come to the school and administer the physicals at the school for those student athletes. So think about who that helps. Helps the coaches, because they can keep all that paperwork organized. Helps the mom and dads. They don't have to take the kids anywhere, pay $40 copay, go crazy trying to figure out an appointment, stuff like that. So we can knock everybody out 2-3 hours. Yeah. We bring in, we've got our top sports medicine crew, we've got our top ATs, we bring in all the help we need, and we knock these things out, and everybody's ready to go for one full calendar year.
Don't you have a date too where you do like a general?
We do. I was in August, so after the summer, right before the school year starts, we'll have our fall physicals, and those are typically much more. The attendance of that is a lot greater than typically in the spring, and that's for anyone. We know that there are kids that want to play sports and decide at the last second. We know kids that missed opportunities and dates. We know moms and dads that forgot to put it on a million reasons. So we'll open the doors between 8 and 10 and see 350 kids who needed this. And it really is, it's so rewarding for us to finish that and say, look, there were 350 people who at the beginning of this probably weren't sure how they were going to get this done. And now we've offered it to them. They've got it knocked out, and they're ready to go for a full calendar year. So look out, keep in touch to our keep up with our social media platforms. We're on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram, TOC and TOC Sports, and just keep tab on the calendar of dates coming up.
And we always talk about the kids and the athletes and everything else, but we got to make it abundantly clear as well, is that TOC, the Orthopedic Center, is there for all people of all ages, and whether it was work injuries or just getting, I call them getting old injuries. It seems that both my neyeighbors on either side of me have had their shoulders redone. You're just breaking down. You go see TOC.
Well, and what a lot of our patients and customers, don't quite know yet is just how quickly and much we're expanding to offer those services. We opened a state-of-the-art facility in Albertville earlier this month. Actually last month, but we had the ribbon cutting official. So state-of-the-art facility in Albertville. Of course, we have our office in Gunnerville, and we're close to expanding into the Hampton Cove area.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And we're going to have a full service clinic there. In fact, it's next to the Publix. It used to be the old
location
Walgreens.
In Fayetteville too, or no?
Still have a location in Fayetteville
covered.
Scottsboro, Athens, Florence, Winfield, Decatur.
Florence, all the way over to Florence.
All the way to Florence. Yeah, we have service in Florence.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, it's all in North Alabama. Look at the website.
I don't go to the website. I need to go to the website for my live reads. I should go to the website.
I say you when I'm speaking to everybody.
That makes a lot of sense. That makes for people like me that live in Winchester, it's only 30 minutes to go over to Fayetteville, maybe.
Well, and another great thing, we now have offices and services on each floor of our Franklin office building. We're now 1 through 5 completely, and on the first floor we just opened our walk-in clinic, which is now going to be 7 days or 5 days a week, which is something that we weren't able to offer before, and our pediatric orthopedists will have their own clinical space down there. So it's very geared towards last-second injuries, and of course, moms and dads not knowing what to do and when to do it. That's the walk-in clinic is a great service to see an orthopedist and not have to, go see somebody that would probably end up referring you to an orthopedist. So
good stuff.
I mean, we're expanding. We're getting bigger, but it's exciting times because there's just so many great things happening. They just really are.
It's tremendous.
I went to Buc-ee's the other day. I mean, that was the highlight of my life.
That's a thing,
man.
Yeah.
That's
Who knows? There
thing.
could be a TOC coming soon at Buc-ee's. Why not? I mean, you could get out there, get some gas, maybe a burger, and then to get your shoulder checked out.
Maybe I can get the Beaver to wear a TOC shirt.
There you go. I mean, that would be a good thing. Yeah. Thom Perkins hanging out with us here at the restaurant at Bubby's Diner. All right, I tell you what, Tom, good to see you, man. I appreciate
Likewise.
you. Good to see you. Always good to see you, with or without the beard. I didn't recognize you when you came in. I said, "Who's this old dude coming in with a TOC sports thing?" There's going to become a time, but when you're going to wish you to look like you're.
Look, I honked at a guy.
This
was a couple months ago. I honked at a guy. He blew through a stop sign. He stopped, got out, and he goes, "You got something to say to me, old man?" And that was the first time someone had ever actually said that to me. And it didn't bother me because I said what I needed to say to him. But
did you have a concealed carry weapon?
No, and I wish I had that. I probably wish I had at that point. But he said that, and it was the first time that. And after that happened, I was like, "Wow, he just called me an old man." I guess I'm there.
Man. There you go. You're there.
Hey, young at heart, my friend.
Thom Perkins. All right, man. Appreciate it. Thanks for stopping by.
Thanks, Tom. Appreciate you.
We're going to break in here. When we come back, a proposal for Major League Baseball. I got to see what Grizz thinks about this. Next, right here on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
You're listening to the Tom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
The best place to get 50s diner-style homemade delectables is Bubby's Diner. Located at 8412 Whitesburg Drive Southeast, try their all-new expanded breakfast menu with homemade waffles, omelets, and shrimp and grits. With 3 generations of experience, Chris Bubby Belcher has the best burgers in town. Don't forget to leave without a homemade pie or a hand-spun milkshake. Get a $50 gift certificate for $25 right now at Bubby's Diner, home of the Donut Burger.
Suffering from emotional pain and mental health conditions? Intensive Outpatient Programs, or IOP, is a rich addition to your continued individual therapy. Group members realize they're not alone and that others have similar difficulties. Hearing and sharing different ways to think and cope can be encouraging, empowering, and promote healing. In most cases, treatment is covered by insurance and no doctor referral is needed. Virtual IOP sessions available. Take your first step to wellness by calling 205-999-5247 or log on IOPServicesLLC.com.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
A wise man once said, "If you take care of old folks and children, everything in the middle will take care of itself."
Hi, I'm Danny Aldridge, lawyer in Alabama and Tennessee. In the next 20 years, the number of those folks over 65 years of age will more than double. In our golden years, the most important goal is to be treated with dignity and have control over doing what makes you grateful with those you love. At the Aldridge Law Firm and the Legal Town Center, we're dedicated to help you with these goals, and we'll be there when life throws you those inevitable curveballs. Let us assist you with your legal needs, whatever they may be or become. You may reach us by phone at 256-534-3188 or online with Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. Just remember, we're here to help. Whether it's personal injury, wrongful death, fraud and cheat, or estate planning made complete, we're here to help.
When I chose a garage door company, I did my homework. I needed Precision Overhead Garage Door Service. They have a 5-star Google rating. I checked their reviews and liked what their customers had to say. Precision Overhead Garage Door has lifetime warranty packages. Same-day service if I call before 2 p.m. If they can't make it the same day, my service call fee the next day is waived. They did a 25-point safety inspection on the door and operator. Now that's peace of mind. Residential, commercial, and gate services. Precision Overhead Garage Door Service. Call 256-400-4500.
TOC Sports has been there for you. Now, you're probably asking yourself, what does that mean? It means for more than 20 years, Alabama's largest orthopedic group has been there providing coverage and care to more schools and student athletes in the Tennessee Valley than any other group. It means whether you are the star football player, the all-region volleyball ace, or someone who hurt their knee in a weekend pickup basketball game, TOC Sports physicians are proud to have the opportunity to care for all your orthopedic needs. It means for parents, coaches, athletes, desk jockeys, or even weekend warriors, TOC Sports physicians continue to meet and exceed the orthopedic and sports medicine needs of our community. But most importantly, during these challenging times, we're here for you now, and will continue to be here. So as long as there are players on the field, games to be played, and contests to be won, the orthopedic specialists from TOC Sports will be ready to help. We don't know what the future holds, but you can count on the TOC Sports team to stay committed to you, so you can stay in the game. Call 256-539-2728 today and ask to see a TOC Sports physician. Check them out online, also Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Over 60 years ago, our founding father taught us the value of being dedicated to long-term customer satisfaction in every transaction we do, sales, parts, and service. Bobby White here for Woody Anderson Ford, thanking you for your loyalty for over 60 years, and we promise to keep working hard to earn your business every day. Just so happens that for 46 of those 60 years, our F-150 has been the best-selling truck in America. And now is a great time to drive one. We've got over 100 F-150s to choose from, and financing as low as 2.9% for up to 5 years on 2022 F-150s. With your good credit through Ford Motor Credit, offer ends February 28th. Or if a nearly new Ford fits you better, trade in and trade up to a Ford Gold Certified or Blue Certified pre-owned car, truck, SUV, or crossover. Great warranties, 24-hour roadside assistance, and you'll take them home with a full tank of gas and a fresh oil change. Woody Anderson Ford celebrating over 60 years of service to Huntsville, and we look forward to serving you.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Emily Owen. For this Friday, expect scattered showers throughout the day. Otherwise, we'll see a cloudy sky. High temperatures are expected to top out in the mid and upper 50s for the afternoon. We could also see gusty winds as high as 25 miles per hour. For your Friday night, we'll keep scattered showers in the forecast, a mostly cloudy sky. Low temperatures falling back down into the low 50s for the overnight. I'm meteorologist Emily Owen on your home for ESPN Radio 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton. Listen weekday afternoons starting at 5 on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
It's perfect!
And welcome back, Tom Abraham Show on location at Bubby Snyder. You know, there's two young ladies that are eating their lunch here right next to me, and I feel like buying them lunch. I want to buy them lunch. Here, come over here and grab this here. I'm going to buy these young ladies lunch because they look like they're solely enjoying it, and they've been. I'm annoying them with my sports talk here. So I think there's like $25 in there, so you might still have to buy your drink or something. But anyway, maybe they do, maybe they don't. Maybe it'll cover the whole nut. I don't know.
You might be annoying the people in front of you, but you don't know if you're scaring the people behind you.
But I bought them lunch. Yes.
Talking about guns with the people behind you. I saw their reaction when you first said
I'm
something.
annoying the people. I'm annoying some people here. I'm going to buy some lunch for these guys behind me, too. There we go, because they're on camera. I don't know who. That'll take care of some of the bill. I don't know who's in the bill. But they're back there. Wait a minute. I better check the camera here, because those guys are on WZZN TV.
They got smiley faces. They got smiley faces.
Behind me. They're right there smiling, having a good time behind us here on the TV feed, those of you that are watching it on WZZN TV. So that's good stuff as well. All right, this segment of the show, by the way, is brought to you by Valley Equipment Rental. Right after the show, you go ahead and get your equipment from Valley Equipment Rental right after the show today, and you've got it until Monday morning at 8 o'clock for the price of 1 day. For 1 day's rental. I mean, this is the best deal in the town. I mean, this is incredible. So you pick it up today, and listen, for a small fee, they'll take it anywhere you want in the market, Valley Equipment Rental. And what's best about the whole thing, it's owned by Ross Roberts. He's a Huntsville High graduate. He's the local. The whole team is local, all right? You want to deal with local people here in our community, you want to deal with Valley Equipment Rental and Ross Roberts. And they've got all the equipment that you need to get your job done like a pro, and they'll show you how to use it as well, that's for sure. All right, Grizz, it occurs to me, and I'm the old guy, now I'm the old guy in the market. I used to be the young, and I'm the old guy in the market. But it occurs to me that I don't think that this next wave of baseball fan and the generation of baseball fan and from your age on down really has much of an appreciation exactly for what the American League and the National League was. And the fact that do you ever hear the term, nobody uses the term anymore, they used to call the American League the junior circuit. You ever remember them saying
I do.
that
I actually do, yeah.
Highlights and the junior circuit. Well, what that means is the National League started. The first was the National League, and it was several years later that the American League started. And so the American League was considered the quote-unquote junior circuit. There only was a National League, and then the American League started. And then once the American League started, after a few years, they decided to have this World Series between these two leagues that didn't play against each other. It would be like the XFL and the USFL playing each other, in a championship, or the AFL and the NFL back in the day. And they never played against each other. It was except for in the World Series. So then as the years went on, the American League had a president, the National League had a president. The American League had their umpires, and the National League had their umpires. So everybody had their own deal, their own. Yeah, okay. So what do you want from me? I'm doing a radio show. Huh? Okay. Well, I'm sorry. I'm doing a radio show until another 7 minutes. Okay?
You're getting right? Called out.
See? I could.
See? You got to do it quieter.
Ma'am, can I buy your lunch? Here.
No.
Come back over here.
You got to do it quieter.
Come over. Come back over here. I'm gonna go buy her lunch. I'm going to buy her lunch. She's upset. They're having a conversation over there, and they don't care about the American League and the National League like I do. Anyway, the American League and the American League and the National League.
Okay.
The American League and the National League. They were so separate. You know what I mean? The American League and the National League, they were so separate back in the day.
Yeah.
And now it's really all conglomerated together. And so there's talk about expansion in baseball and two more cities coming in. And the cities that are being considered are Nashville, Charlotte, Portland, Las Vegas, and Montreal.
Portland.
Las Vegas is probably going to get Oakland. Yeah, Portland, Oregon.
I'm sorry. Baseball? No. Portland? No.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't find that being
city.
a big well, I don't know if it'd be a big baseball market like Charlotte and Nashville would be.
So if they expand, let's say it's Charlotte and Nashville, which are
let's
kind
do
of
that.
the leading.
I like that.
So we'll have 32 teams, and they could put 16 teams in the Eastern Conference and 16 teams in the Western Conference. Okay, and if that happens, Jim Bowden has an interesting article out where he's talking about what it could look like, and what he has is in the Southeast Division. It would be the Atlanta Braves, the Miami Marlins, the Nashville team, and the Tampa Bay Rays. And that would be your Southeast Division.
Yeah, no, I like that.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah.
That would be the Southeast
Tired
Division.
Tired of that interleague stuff
Conference.
anyway. That 2-game interleague stuff, that's...
No, that would be the thing. Now
that's what I'm saying. Get rid of it.
The Mid-Atlantic Division would be Baltimore, Charlotte, Pittsburgh, and Washington. The North Division would be Cincinnati, Cleveland, Detroit, and Toronto. And get this, the East Division would be Boston, the Mets, the Yankees, and the Phillies.
Oh, that's nasty.
God. Oh, my gosh.
That's
how
really
sweet
cool.
is that?
I like that.
In the Western Conference, you'd have the Midwest Division, which is Chicago White Sox, Cubs, and the Cubs, Brewers, and Twins. That's a nice division. The Southwest Division would have the Astros, Royals, Cardinals, and Rangers. Pacific Coast Division would be Rockies, A's, Mariners, and Giants. And then the West Division would be the Diamondbacks, Angels, Dodgers, and Padres. So there you go.
No,
That's how it would. I'd like that.
No, I'd really like that, and maybe that's a way to get the younger generation to like it more. Because, like you said, I still love baseball. I still pay attention to a lot of it.
Right.
But it's one of those ones where, like, there's a whole generation that don't even know who the Montreal Expos are. You know what I mean? Don't even know that the Houston Astros used to be in the NL. You know what I mean? Like,
and that wasn't even that long ago.
It is, yeah, that's what I'm saying. And it's like,
and the Milwaukee Brewers were in the Yale.
Exactly. It's just crazy that when you look at these kind of things, no one really understands, and I don't understand the lack of knowledge in baseball, because I mean I still appreciate the game, and I know the at least the southeast half of the portion of the United States loves the game of baseball. So.
All right, listen, I'm going to take a break. I'm going to come back quick because I want to tell you how it works out. I'm going to go buy these ladies lunch, the lady that yelled at me. I'm going to go. Then I can't tell you what happened. All right, give me a quick break. Give me a quick break, and then I'll come back and I'll tell you what happened. It's the Tom Abraham Show, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Hello, listeners. My name is Jonathan Dunwoody, and I own Minuteman Press. We are a full-service print shop that is locally owned and operated. I have personally been handling direct mail for over 17 years and have a great relationship with the USPS. We are the only print shop in the area that is listed as a print provider on their website, and the only printing franchise that can use their logo as our partner on marketing materials. We can help from conception to design, print, and delivery to the post office. And with our easy, secure online payment option, you don't even need to leave your office. Minuteman Press, we're not just putting ink on paper, we're building relationships.
The best place to get 50s diner-style homemade delectables is Bubby's Diner. Located at 8412 Whitesburg Drive Southeast, try their all-new expanded breakfast menu with homemade waffles, omelets, and shrimp and grits. With 3 generations of experience, Chris Bubby Belcher has the best burgers in town. Don't forget to leave without a homemade pie or a hand-spun milkshake. Give Bubby's a call today at 256-513-8080. Bubby's Diner, home of the donut burger.
Tom Luganbill here for my friends at Woody Anderson Ford. Bobby White and his team take great pride in their service department, and you can see it the moment you walk into those beautiful new service lanes. And just like a championship team, they all work together to make sure your experience is second to none, whether you drive a Ford or not. Also, check out the gold certified pre-owned inventory at Woody Anderson Ford for great deals every day. Stop by and see them at Jordan and Sparkman or at Woody Anderson of Madison on Hughes Road, or visit WoodyAndersonFord.com.
Flow Trampoline Park is your one-stop fun spot for your next birthday party. Whether you're a boy, girl, kid, or adult, Flow has you covered. Party packages allow up to 25 plus guests, so you'll be able to bring all of your friends. And with all the fun competition to be had at Flow, maybe enemies too. Party packages will give you access to 60 minutes of jump time, grip socks for all guests, a private party room, and a party coordinator. Flow is behind South Parkway and Drake, behind Cracker Barrel. For more information, go to flowhuntsville.com. Get jumping with Flow.
At Bryant Bank, we recognize your time is valuable, and easy, secure access to your finances is essential. That's why we provide the financial tools you need to manage your money on the go and make life a bit easier. At Bryant Bank, we're here to help with instant debit cards, Apple Pay, person-to-person payments, and more. Bryant bankers want to show you how beneficial our digital banking services can be. Learn more at bryantbank.com. Bryant Bank. Live legendary. Member FDIC.
I made a new friend. I bought him lunch. They're appreciative. They didn't realize it was a live radio show. They're appreciative, and she said, I didn't realize it was a radio show. She goes, you don't have to do that. I said, consider it a blessing. You can't deny a blessing. You can't say no to a blessing. So you've been blessed with lunch. She said, thank you. She's long time, first time, long time listener. She'll probably be calling on. She'll probably be calling Monday.
Who?
Long time, first time, long time. All right, we gotta get. We're out of here. We gotta get out of here. Hey, I gotta get my milkshake. I'm stoked to get my milkshake. All right, that's gonna do it tonight. The drive is down at Woody Anderson Ford. Go see those guys down